never thought silence could hurt so much. The day my husband left, the house felt louder than ever, even though he was gone. Please kindly watch this to the end to understand the message I'm about to share. Relax, Emily, Jason said as he dragged his suitcase toward the door. It's just a vacation. I'll be back in a week. I stood there holding our 6-month-old baby, Noah, against my chest. Noah was crying softly, his tiny fingers gripping my shirt like he already knew something was wrong. A week, I repeated. You're leaving me alone with a baby who doesn't even sleep through the night. Jason sighed like I was the problem. You're always complaining, he said. I need a break. A break? From what? From being a husband? From being a father? You could have waited, I said quietly, or taken us with you. Jason laughed, actually laughed. Vacation with a crying baby, he said. No thanks. That laugh stayed in my head long after the door slammed shut behind him. I stood there, frozen, listening to his car pull away. Noah cried harder, his little face turning red. I rocked him, whispering, "It's okay, baby, Mommy's here." But inside, something broke. The first night alone was pure chaos. Noah screamed from midnight to almost dawn. My arms ached. My eyes burned. I hadn't slept more than 2 hours straight in months, but that night felt endless. At 3:17 a.m., I texted Jason. Noah won't stop crying. I really need help. The message showed delivered. No reply. At 4:02 a.m., I tried calling. Straight to voicemail. By morning, I was exhausted, angry, and shaking. Jason posted his first vacation picture at 9:30 a.m. Him smiling on a beach, blue water, a drink in his hand. Caption, much needed peace, relieved face. Peace. I stared at the screen, holding a baby who had spit up all over my only clean shirt. Something inside me went very, very cold. The days passed slowly. Noah and I developed our own routine. Feed, cry, nap, repeat. Jason barely checked in. When he did, it was short. How's the baby? Fine. That was it. No, how are you? No, do you need anything? On day 3, my mother called. Emily, you sound tired, she said gently. I almost cried right there. Jason left, I said. Vacation. There was a pause. With a 6-month-old baby, she asked. Yes. Another pause, longer this time. I raised you better than that, she said quietly. But don't worry, I trust you. That sentence stayed with me. I trust you. By day 4, something changed. I stopped crying. I stopped begging Jason to care. Instead, I started thinking. Really thinking. I opened our shared laptop that night while Noah slept beside me. Jason never logged out of anything. Email, bank apps, travel confirmations. I wasn't snooping. I was surviving. And what I saw made my hands tremble. Jason had spent more on this vacation than we had on Noah's hospital bills. Hotels, clubs, expensive meals. And then I saw it. A reservation confirmation. 2 guests. My heart started pounding. 2 guests. I scrolled further. A name appeared next to Jason. Lauren M. I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because it finally made sense. So that was it. He didn't just leave me and our baby. He replaced us. That night, I didn't sleep. I planned. Jason called on day 5. Hey, he said casually. I'll be back in 2 days. Okay, I replied calmly. He paused. That's it. Yes. Another pause. You sound different, he said. I'm just tired, I answered. That part was true. But not the whole truth. The next day, I made phone calls. Quiet ones. Then I packed. Not my bags. His. Every shirt, every shoe, every stupid souvenir he loved. I stacked them neatly by the door. Jason sent another picture that night. Him and a woman's hand holding a drink. He didn't show her face. But he didn't need to. I replied with one word. Enjoy. He sent back a laughing emoji. That emoji was the moment I stopped being afraid. The morning Jason was supposed to return, I woke up early. Noah was calm, almost peaceful. I kissed his forehead. You're about to meet a new version of Mommy, I whispered. At noon, my phone buzzed. Jason, landing now. I didn't reply. At 1:06 p.m., I heard the sound of a car pulling into the driveway. My heart raced. Not with fear. With anticipation. Jason opened the front door. And froze. His smile disappeared instantly. What the hell is this? He asked, staring at the packed bags by the door. I didn't answer. I just stood there, holding Noah calm and steady. Jason stepped inside, confused. Emily, he said slowly, what's going on? Before I could respond, there was a knock at the door. Jason turned. I smiled. The knock came again, slow, firm, confident. Jason frowned. Are you expecting someone? I didn't answer. I adjusted Noah on my shoulder and walked past Jason toward the door. My legs felt steady, even though my heart was racing. I opened it. Two people stood there. A tall woman in a navy blazer and a man holding a folder. Emily Carter, the woman asked. Yes, I said. I'm Rachel Moore, Family Services Case Officer. This is Mr. Daniels, Legal Mediator. Jason laughed nervously behind me. Family Services? What is this, some kind of joke? Rachel's face didn't change, not even a little. We're here because of a report filed during your absence, she said calmly. Jason's laugh died instantly. A report, he asked. About what? Rachel glanced at Noah, then back at Jason. Child abandonment concerns. The word hung in the air like smoke. Jason's face turned red. That's insane. I went on vacation. With no caregiver arranged, Mr. Daniels added, opening his folder. Leaving a 6-month-old infant solely in the care of one exhausted parent. Jason pointed at me. She's the mother, that's her job. I felt something snap. No, I said quietly. That's called parenting, and it's both of our jobs. Rachel nodded. May we come in? Jason opened his mouth to protest, but I stepped aside and let them in. Jason paced the living room like a trapped animal. This is unbelievable, he muttered. Emily, why would you do this? I looked at him, really looked at him. You left, I said. I documented everything. Rachel sat down and pulled out her tablet. Text messages, she said. Call logs, social media posts, financial statements. Jason froze. You went through my stuff, he snapped. Our stuff, I corrected, while you were busy finding peace. Rachel looked up. Mr. Carter, did you travel with another individual during this vacation? Jason hesitated. That's not relevant, he said. Rachel raised an eyebrow. It is when shared finances were used. Silence. Then Jason exploded. This is ridiculous, he shouted. I needed a break. She's dramatic. Everyone knows Bobbies are hard. Noah startled and began to cry. I held him tighter. Lower your voice, Rachel said firmly, or we will end this discussion. Jason ran his hands through his hair. What do you want? He asked me. An apology, fine, I'm sorry. I shook my head. Too late. Mr. Daniels cleared his throat. Emily has filed for temporary separation and sole caregiving authority. Jason's eyes widened. You did what? It's temporary, I said calmly, until you learn responsibility. You can't do this, he yelled. I already did. Rachel stood. We'll follow up with you, Mr. Carter. For now, we advise you to review the paperwork left here. She placed an envelope on the table. Jason stared at it like it might explode. After they left, The house felt quiet again. Jason turned to me, his voice low. You planned this. Yes. You embarrassed me. No, I said. You embarrassed yourself. He laughed bitterly. You think this is revenge, calling social services. I smiled slightly. This is just the beginning. That night, Jason slept on the couch. Or at least he tried to. At 2 a.m., he sat up suddenly. Emily, he whispered, we need to talk. I didn't respond. At 3 a.m., his phone buzzed. I watched his face change as he read the message. What? He whispered. He stood up and walked to the kitchen, dialing quickly. Lauren, he hissed, what do you mean you told your sister? I listened quietly from the hallway. No, I didn't say I was separated, he said. I said my wife was fine. Pause. What do you mean she contacted you? Jason's face went pale. He slowly turned around and saw me standing there. You contacted her? He asked. Yes, I said. How did you even? She tagged you, I said simply. Public post, very romantic. Jason dropped his phone. You ruined everything, he said. I tilted my head. Funny, you said the same thing when Noah was born. The next morning, Jason tried to act normal. He made coffee, burned the toast, avoided my eyes. Emily, he said carefully, let's fix this. I fed Noah and didn't look up. There's nothing to fix, I said, only things to face. His phone buzzed again. He checked it. Then another message. And another. His hands started shaking. What's wrong? I asked innocently. My mom, he said. Why is my mom asking about court papers? I smiled softly. I sent her screenshots, I said, of your vacation and Lauren. Jason slammed his phone down. You went to my family. You left me alone with a baby, I said. You don't get privacy. He stared at me like he didn't recognize me anymore. Who are you? He whispered. I'm the woman you underestimated. That afternoon, someone else came to the house. Jason's sister, Megan. She stood at the door, arms crossed. I came to see the baby, she said. Then she looked at Jason. And to ask what the hell you were thinking. Jason opened his mouth. She raised her hand. Don't. Megan hugged me gently. You okay? She asked. I nodded. Jason watched helplessly as his own sister chose my side. That evening, Jason packed more clothes. I'll stay at a friend's place, he said quietly. I didn't stop him. As he reached the door, he turned back. You think you won, he said. I rocked Noah gently. This isn't about winning, I replied. It's about consequences. Jason left. But peace didn't come. Because that night my phone buzzed. Unknown number. A message appeared. You don't know who you're messing with. Stop now. I stared at the screen. Then another message. You humiliated the wrong man. I looked at Noah sleeping peacefully. And typed back. Watch me. Outside, a car engine started. And for the first time since Jason left on that vacation, I felt something worse than anger. I felt danger. The next morning, I woke up before the sun. Noah was still asleep, his tiny chest rising and falling gently. I watched him for a long moment, trying to calm the storm inside my head. That message wouldn't leave me alone. You don't know who you're messing with. I replayed it again and again. Jason was careless, selfish, and immature, but threatening messages were new. That didn't sound like him. Jason liked yelling, not planning. I picked up my phone and checked the number again. Blocked, private. I whispered, okay, game on. By 8 a.m., Jason's name popped up on my screen. Jason, did you send someone after me? Me, what are you talking about? Jason, a guy showed up at my friend's place last night, asked questions about you. My fingers tightened around the phone. Me, what kind of questions? 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Jason, about the baby, about money, about why I left. My heart started pounding. Me, who was he? Jason, I don't know. He said he was helping clean up a mess. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. I already knew. Lauren. Or someone close to her. I remembered the way Jason went quiet when I mentioned her sister. The way his face drained of color. This wasn't over. Later that day, I took Noah to the pediatrician. Routine visit, nothing special. But when I walked into the waiting room, every instinct in my body screamed. A woman stood near the front desk. Blonde, tall, perfect posture. She turned slowly and smiled at me. Emily, she said like we were old friends. Finally. My stomach dropped. Do I know you? I asked. She laughed lightly. Not personally, but I know you. She looked at Noah. He's beautiful, she said. Jason didn't lie about that. That was it. That was the moment. You're Lauren, I said flatly. She smiled wider, in the flesh. People in the waiting room were watching. I forced myself to stay calm. This is a doctor's office, I said. Say what you came to say. Lauren leaned closer. You humiliated me, she whispered. You made me look like a fool. I stared at her. You dated a married man, that part did itself. Her smile vanished. You think you're clever, she said, but Jason told me everything. I laughed. I couldn't help it. He lies, I said, a lot. Her eyes flicked to Noah again. You're using the baby as a weapon, she said coldly. That's when I stood up. Say one more word about my child, I said quietly, and this place will hear things you don't want public. Lauren stepped back. She fixed her hair, smiled again. This isn't finished, she said. Men like Jason don't disappear quietly. Then she walked out. My hands were shaking. The nurse called my name. I went in, smiled, answered questions like nothing was wrong. But inside, alarms were screaming. That evening, Jason came by to pick up more of his things. I think she's harassing me, he said nervously. You think, I replied. She's angry, he said, really angry. You should have thought of that before lying to both of us, I said. Jason looked at Noah, then at me. I didn't think you'd fight back, he admitted. That was the most honest thing he'd said in years. That night, I made another call. A different one. The kind you make when you stop playing defense. The next day, papers were delivered. Not to me. To Jason. He called immediately. Emily, he said, panicked. What is this? Temporary financial freeze, I said calmly. Joint accounts, pending investigation. You can't do that, he shouted. I already did, I said. Silence. You're ruining my life, he said finally. I rocked Noah gently. No, I said, I'm protecting ours. That afternoon, I received another message. Unknown number again. This ends tonight. My chest tightened. I locked the doors, checked the windows, called my mom. But before she could answer, the doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole and froze. Jason stood there. But he wasn't alone. Behind him stood Lauren. And beside her, a man I had never seen before, holding an envelope. Jason's voice came through the door, shaky. Emily, he called, please open the door. We need to talk right now. Noah stirred in my arms. My phone buzzed. A new message appeared. You wanted consequences. Here they are. I stepped back from the door, my heart pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Because whatever was in that envelope, I knew it was meant to destroy me. And this time, they thought they had won. I didn't open the door. Instead, I took a slow breath and did something Jason never expected. I smiled. Because the moment I saw Lauren standing beside him, I knew something important. They were desperate. I walked to the window, instead, and pulled the curtain just enough for them to see me. Jason's face lit up with relief. Lauren's didn't. I held up my phone so they could see it. Then I pressed a button. The front door camera light turned red. Recording. Jason swallowed hard. "Emily," he said through the door, trying to sound calm. "Let's just talk like adults." "Adults," I replied loudly enough for the camera to catch every word. "Adults don't abandon their wives and bobbies." Lauren stepped forward. "You're making this worse than it has to be." I laughed, a real laugh this time. "Oh no," I said. "You're just late." The man with the envelope cleared his throat. "Ma'am, we have documents for you." "What kind?" I asked. "Legal notice," he said, "regarding false reporting and defamation." Jason nodded quickly, like a child begging for approval. "This can all go away," Jason said. "Just stop." I leaned closer to the window. "You really still don't get it," I said. "Do you?" Lauren crossed her arms. "You don't have proof of anything." That's when I raised my phone again. "And yet," I said calmly, "your voice is on a recording admitting the affair. Your messages are backed up. Your hotel receipts are time-stamped. And Jason's location history puts him exactly where he said he was." Jason's mouth opened, then closed. Lauren's face went white. "You recorded me," she whispered. "I documented my life," I corrected. "Big difference." The man with the envelope shifted uncomfortably. "Mr. Carter," he said slowly, "you didn't mention ongoing investigations." Jason looked at him. "It's not like that." "It is exactly like that," I said. I tapped my phone again. A moment later, Jason's phone buzzed in his pocket. He checked it. His shoulders dropped. "What?" Lauren snapped. Jason's voice was barely audible. "My lawyer," he said. "He says this won't hold up in court." Lauren stared at him. "You said you had control of this." Jason didn't answer. Because for the first time, he realized the truth. He never did. I opened the door just enough to step into the doorway, keeping Noah safely behind me. "I'm not scared anymore," I said softly. "That's what you didn't expect." Lauren laughed nervously. "You think you're powerful now." "No," I said. "I think I'm free." The man handed Jason the envelope instead. "I suggest you read this," he said, "and leave." Jason looked at me one last time. "You really planned all this," he said. I shook my head. "No," I replied. "You planned this the moment you walked out." Lauren turned sharply. "Jason, let's go." Jason hesitated, then followed her. The car drove away. The street went quiet. I closed the door, locked it, and leaned against it, shaking. Not from fear, from release. That night, I held Noah and cried for the first time in days. Not because I was weak, but because I had survived. The next morning, Jason sent one final message. "I didn't think you'd go this far." I stared at it for a long time, then typed back. "I didn't either, until I had to." I blocked his number. Outside, the sun rose slowly, warm and steady. Noah smiled in his sleep. And as I watched him, I knew one thing for sure. The vacation Jason took had cost him everything. And the life he thought he'd return to was gone forever. Thanks for watching. Kindly drop your comment about this story. And please subscribe to this channel and on your notification for more interesting stories.